What's going on, guys? This is Adam Upchurch, and I wanted to share with you something that I built over the past week. It's a tool that we've actually needed for Mark Allen contracting for some time now. And I was having a conversation with our insurance agent for our renewal coming up over the weekend. And I was complaining about tracking certificates of insurances. And I asked him if there's any tools that make it easy for a smaller company like myself to track these insurances that we need for our subcontractors and vendors to make sure that they have coverage. And when they expire, that we make sure that we update it and we have an easy place to organize them. He was like, no. And I was like, cool. So I actually also called another friend that's in a much larger general contractor and asked them what they did. And they literally just store them in a filing cabinet, which is just crazy. They're a little bit different than us. They get insurance for like on a per project basis because they do new construction. We just do general insurance, general liability, workers' comp, umbrella would be nice, and automobile would be great if you had it as well. But we just care about your annual coverage. We don't need it for a per project basis because our projects are much smaller than their $3 to $10 million plus projects. But he said that there wasn't a tool. I was pretty surprised by that. And by the end of the conversation, I was like, screw it. I'm actually going to go see if I can build this with Claude. And that is actually what I did. So this right here is actually the website, that landing page that I built with it. I built this in about like an hour to get it set up, at least this portion. The app actually took me about 3 days of probably like 4 hours a day. Actually working on it, maybe a little bit more in the evenings and the mornings. But I just wanted to show you real quick of what this application does and what I think the future of artificial intelligence really is going to be like for small businesses like myself. Is I think that we're going to build point tools, like singular solutions that other companies haven't built for us. Like this, I call this Proof COI. It's a COI management, but this is a great example of how quickly that someone can identify a problem, build a solution, get it launched, and like honestly, sometimes even build it in a way that other people can use it as well. And this is like, I'm able to actually like do everything but accept payment for this tool. So if you go to proofcoi.com, you can find this website. If you click get started, you can create an account and I'll show you what all that you can do on that. Just want to quickly go through what Claude essentially has built for me. I kind of told it the requirements and maybe I can show that to you in a second. But anyways, I want to show you the website first. This is probably what you really care about and how I did it. Can go into detail a little bit later, but stop chasing certificates and start running your jobs. So the main problem that we have is that we forget to get them. And then when it comes down to the audit, around March, April every single year, we have to call and hound our vendors for their insurance for the coverage period. And their coverage doesn't line up with ours. So we usually get 2 of them, for one for the start of the period and when it renews as well. And it's a mess. Sometimes we find it in emails. Other times we were smart, put it into our Airtable where we have it tracked currently. But it's a freaking mess. Like honestly, it's terrible every single year. And to be honest, it's a lot of risk that we don't do this better. Because if we fail to make sure that someone has insurance and they burn down a building or someone gets hurt on the job and they don't have insurance covering their employees and their damages, that's going to get back onto ours. And then we have to pay for it. We have to deal with it. And to look bad on us, it might be difficult for us to go out and get our own insurance because we weren't doing the right things to make sure that our subcontractors have it as well. So some of the things that it does, you can import your vendors, you can upload COIs, it has monitoring and alerts. So if their insurance is expiring, it'll send them a notification, an email. Actually, that's fully built out already. That took a little bit of time, but I figured it out how to do it. It does have some AI in there. So whenever you do upload a COI, it's going to extract the information. Luckily, COIs are pretty templated. So all the information is going to be right around the same place. So it's actually pretty easy to get that done. Wasn't really one prompt, got that done, which is pretty sweet. And this is what I have right here. All I have is the free tier built out. You could have 10 vendors and, sorry, got a call coming in. You have 10 vendors and I think like 10 COIs for each, which is an overkill, but whatever. And a hypothetical starter package for $50 where you get 50 vendors and 100 $20 for unlimited vendors. I don't have these pricing tiers built in, just the free. A little FAQ and some other things. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a sign in. There's also a sign up right here, but we can just go back to the sign in since I already have an account. I don't care if you see my email, you just won't see my password if I remember it. First try, get out of here. Cool. So yeah, this is the dashboard. Shows you how many vendors you have in the system, how many are non-compliant, which we get to in a second, and how many are pending. There's a step that once someone submits it, you click on here and you can approve it, reject it, or delete it. You can edit data because sometimes AI is not perfect, so that you can make sure that the policy number, the coverage amount, or expiration dates are correct. UPF here, this was broken last time. Let's see if it works. Yep, broken. That'll be fixed later, most likely. It has to be fixed if we want to use it for ourselves, so it definitely will be. But we could go ahead and get this approved, and we can go back to section 10, and we see that they have approved COI. Here's a portal link so that I could copy and send that to this contact right here if they want to upload their newest COI. Is a history of them. They're approved. I think I edited this one, possibly. Oh no, so this one actually will come back as non-compliant or expired here in a second. But you can see all the ones, all the COIs that I've uploaded, all the vendors that we have. Not compliant for that one. Expired section 8. So if we go back up here to the dashboard, we'll see that it says expired, not compliant. There's a way to import all the vendors. You can drag and drop a CSV with all this information. You can import a bunch of COIs at one time, which I haven't tried this because COIs can be in PDFs. So maybe you just import the information, but you still want the PDFs. So that'd be a problem that has to be solved later. And you could import a single PDF at a time just by selecting the vendor, then update it one time. You can also do that in the vendor view. I didn't request this. Claude decided to make it. So it's there. Also do a report of the statuses. I need to update this a little bit more too, just as having statuses of approved. We want status of active this year. And you can select the coverage period that you need as well right here and run a report. And it will only right now export the GL information, the workers' comp information. I also want it to be able to export the actual PDFs as well. So that's a problem for a different day. And then you go to settings and you can have your content information, change password, company information, and then your minimum coverage. Most insurance companies want you to have your vendors and subcontractors match your coverage. So you can put here and it'll tell you if they're compliant or non-compliant. And one of the other cool features is that it does reminders for when their expiration date is. So 30 days out, it'll send them a reminder, 7 days out and 0 days out as well, to make sure to send you the updated one. Let me see. And the vendors too. Let me see. There should be a, maybe, oh, there it is. There's two zoomed in. There's a button to request COI. So if you want to send them a email requesting it, let's see if this is working correctly. This is me right here. Request COI. Boom. Go to Gmail. I just got this set up, so hopefully it is working correctly. Maybe, oh, that was just the test. Well, this is embarrassing. So anyways, so the way that I created this project was entirely through Claude. I think actually, this Claude right here? Yeah. Let me get this other Claude view. I think I did construction app development. Said, hey, help me build a prompt for my construction company. Create me a prompt to share with me an idea of requirements process. It gave me all of this. And I responded with it. And then it created a prompt of what to put into Claude Code. So I came back to Claude Code, and that was the first thing. I don't know. Gosh, you see all the things. Yep, right here. I put it in. It literally created the application. I had to connect it to GitHub, and then it created all the files and everything. And it was like 90% of the way there on the very first try. And I've gone back and forth, updating a few things here and there. And it was like making the changes immediately. And I literally did not have to write a single line of code for any of this. I do know how to write code. I understand how front end and back ends interact, and how to actually deploy applications, which made this all easier. It would be very difficult if you didn't know how to use a terminal and deploy applications, or had a minor background in programming like I do. This is actually like quite easy. I literally asked Claude everything. I had 2 chats going on at one time. I had, I think, this one or the PowerShell one. Yeah. So pretty much anytime I did anything, I would ask a Claude the question and say, hey, how do I tell Claude Code what to do? And then it would give me the prompt of what to put into Claude Code. So I wasn't just telling it, dumb things. It was telling it the proper way to put in the actual information. So you tell there's a ton of conversations. And then I would just go back to Claude Code, put it in, it would make the changes in GitHub, push it, and then I would then push it to the droplet on DigitalOcean, where it's getting hosted, and then it would go live at app.proofcy.com. But I could go on more and more about this being a tool that I'm excited about for the company. I truly think that this is like the future of artificial intelligence, is businesses solving problems with point tools that aren't out there on the market yet. This is like literally some of the costs that could cost us, thousands of dollars every single year. I spent a few days, solved the problem, and I'm gonna share about it. And I'm probably gonna do this again. I doubt like once a week to create 50 tools in a year. That'd be crazy. But, every once in a while we have a problem and I'm like, I could probably create that with Claude, and I'm gonna go solve that problem for myself. So I'm pretty excited about the future of artificial intelligence. Obviously, the AI graph that I shared recently was saying that AI is not going to impact construction. I think that's bullshit. I think it's going to greatly impact construction with people like me who know how to use the tools, knows the possibility, and could actually build things with them. Obviously get better and better and easier for non-tech people to be able to create stuff. But in the meantime, it's in the perfect spot for someone like me to be able to quickly build out tools, solve problems, and hit the ground running faster and faster. If you have any ideas of like different tools that you need for your business that solve like one specific problem, let me know down in the comments or whatever. Would love to hear about it and, chat about how you can go create that with Claude Code. That was the tool that I just built with Claude Code. And if you want to use it, if you have a need for tracking COIs, it's free for your first 10, and maybe talk to me and I'll up it to more, or allow you to, pay me some money and use it if you want to do more. I don't know. I have no idea. I literally built it and I want to see how far I could get it quickly. I think I'm done. I want to fix the obvious problems to make sure that it's like I could use it myself, but I'm not going to build in payment stuff until someone comes up to me and is like, I want to use this for myself. Yeah, that's it. So see you next time. Peace.